All right, let's talk Europe. Thinking about a trip, it can feel like, wow, where do I even start? You've got Paris, Rome, the Swiss Alps. It's like a giant puzzle, right? Well, today, we're going to help you find that one perfect piece that just clicks for you. Let's dive in.
Okay, so that dream of a European adventure is officially on your mind. That's awesome. But then, reality hits. That initial excitement can totally turn into overwhelm. You start asking yourself, okay, seriously, where do I even begin?
And listen, if you've ever just stared at a map of Europe and felt your brain kind of fizzle out, you are definitely not alone. I mean, you've got dozens of countries, hundreds of cities, thousands of years of history. Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
But here's the secret, the little trick we're going to unlock today. The best trips, the ones you remember forever, they aren't about just picking a famous place off a list. It's all about matching the destination to your personal vibe. It's finding that one spot that just feels right, like it was made just for you.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's find your perfect trip. We've kind of broken it down into 4 main travel personalities. We've got the city explorer, the nature seeker, the culture and history buff, and of course, the sun and sand lover. As we walk through each one, just think about which one really sounds like you.
All right, first up, the city explorer. You know if this is you. You're someone who just feeds off the energy of a crowd. You get a real thrill from seeing those iconic, world-famous sights in person. You just love that nonstop buzz that you can only find in a big city.
So let's talk about 3 absolute giants. You've got Paris with that oh-so-chic cafe culture and undeniable romance. Then there's Rome. It's like walking through a living, breathing museum where ancient history is literally around every corner. And of course, London, a place that somehow perfectly mashes up centuries of royal history with this really cool modern vibe. Seriously, each one is a completely different world. And the city adventures do not stop there. I mean, just imagine exploring Gaudi's wild, fantastical architecture in Barcelona and then heading straight to the beach for some tapas. Or maybe you're more into the super chill vibe of Amsterdam, just casually biking along those famous canals. The options are just incredible.
But hey, maybe all this talk of bustling crowds and cobblestone streets just isn't doing it for you. Maybe you're craving something a little more open, something a little wilder, right?
So this one's for all the nature seekers out there. You know who you are. You'd pick a mountain peak over a museum any day of the week. You're the one dreaming of epic hikes, dramatic coastlines, those kinds of landscapes that literally just take your breath away.
And wow, Europe's natural beauty is just staggering. I mean, picture this, hiking the incredible peaks of the Swiss Alps and then getting all cozy in a charming little mountain village. Or what about cruising through Norway's majestic fjords, feeling tiny next to these massive cliffs and huge waterfalls? And if you want something straight out of a fairy tale, you have to see Lake Bled in Slovenia with that perfect little church on an island. It's unreal.
And you can find that stunning beauty right by the water too. Take Italy's Cinque Terre. You've got these colorful villages basically clinging to the cliffs above the sea. The hiking trails there are some of the most scenic on the planet. And then you've got a totally different vibe in Croatia with the Plitvice Lakes. It's this magical world of wooden boardwalks that take you over dozens of these cascading, bright turquoise waterfalls. Both are absolutely breathtaking, but offer completely different kinds of adventures.
All right, so we've done big cities and we've done epic nature. But what if your real passion is in the stories from the past? What if what you really want to do is walk right into the pages of a history book?
Well, that brings us to our 3rd travel type, the culture and history buff. This is for you if you get a genuine thrill from seeing ancient ruins, exploring medieval castles. You love cities that have been shaped by centuries of art, music, and incredible empires. Let's look at 2 incredible imperial capitals. Prague. It honestly feels like you've stepped right into a Gothic fairy tale. You've got the medieval old town, the famous Charles Bridge. It's magical. Vienna, on the other hand, is all about that grand imperial feel. We're talking opulent palaces, classical music everywhere, and this amazing sophisticated coffeehouse culture. And the thing is, history in Europe isn't just one thing. You can literally stand in the birthplace of Western democracy at the Acropolis in Athens. You can feel the history as you wander the tiled streets of Lisbon, listening to that soulful fado music. Or you can even soak in it, relaxing in one of Budapest's incredible thermal baths, which is a tradition that's been around for centuries.
But wait a second. Maybe all this talk of history and hiking sounds, well, a little bit like hard work. Maybe your idea of the perfect trip is way simpler.
like a comfy chair, a cold drink, and just the sound of the waves.
And that brings us to our final travel personality, the sun and sand lover. This is for you if your vacation goals are pretty straightforward. De-stress, soak up a ton of sun, and just completely relax on some of the most beautiful coastlines in the world.
You know, sometimes a single image or just a few words can say everything. When you hear Santorini, Greece, what comes to mind? For me, it's this: whitewashed buildings, blue domes, and epic sunsets. That one phrase, it just captures the entire mood, right? It's the dream of a vacation. It is pure, unfiltered relaxation.
And Europe has so many different kinds of coastal paradise. You could be sipping limoncello on the super glamorous Amalfi Coast, or maybe you're dancing all night in Ibiza, or finding a quiet little hidden cove there. You could be walking the ancient city walls of Dubrovnik before jumping straight into the Adriatic Sea, or maybe you're soaking up the sun on the very chic French Riviera. So many choices!
So look, whether you're a city explorer who's all about those iconic landmarks, a nature seeker chasing mountain peaks, a history buff wanting to walk through ancient cities, or a sun and sand lover who just wants to see a perfect sunset, here's the main takeaway. Your perfect little corner of Europe is out there waiting for you. The goal isn't to find the best place, it's to find your place. So really, there's only one question left to ask, and it's the most exciting one. Now that you have a better idea of your travel vibe, which Europe are you going to discover first? Happy travels!